before you complete your hello. So
Yeah, yeah.
before your engineering, like while you are doing engineering, quite a few companies can come into the will come into your college
Before you complete
for
your
campus. Pardon? Hello. Yeah. Could you repeat your question?
No, you,
Hello.
you continue, Chris.
Yeah. So during your college, during your graduation itself, you can the colleges will bring some companies into your college, and in order for campus placement. So you can sit for those campus placements and get a job right after your college. Or else, if you are not able to make through the campus placement, then uh, you will have to make connections with your friend, those who have got placed, or you will have to ask them to drop your resume to their companies, or ask them to make some recommendation from their side, as well as you can get in touch with the HRs of the company, private companies, and drop in your resume to them. Most of the HRs will not respond to you, but around like 20 to out of 20 or 30, some one or two may call you for interview, and then you can convert that interview into a job. So basically, you'll have to keep on making connection and contacting all these HRs and your friends in order to get into the private sector. So now, if you talk about the government sector includes PSU company. These PSU stands for Public Sector Undertaking. So these are companies in which the government holds around 51% or more of their stakes. So these companies are called as PSUs. These companies include companies such as Indian Oil, ONGC, NTPC, SAIL, that is Steel Authority of India Limited, all these kind of companies. So these companies, they are government owned, and it will be it will not be a complete government job, but you are almost like a government employee over there. So this is one sector, government sector. The other things are like SSC JE, so in this, if you get selected, you work in like sectors such as MES. MES stands for Military Engineering Services. So these people, they serve the army and all the armed forces. Like they look after their properties wherever they are staying, quarters, as well as their technical areas and their areas where they are currently working. Offices and everything are maintained by by SSC JE, the person who was selected through SSC JE. And the other is RRB JE. RRB stands for Railway Recruitment Board. This you can, if you get into this RRB, then you will be working with the Indian Railways. So over there, you'll have to the maintenance of tax or civil controls, as well as the coaches and workshops and all those things come into RBJ, the job to RBJ. The next is the government organization. These government organization includes organizations such as DRC, ISRO, DRDO. So you can also get selected into these organizations as a scientist, and then you can continue your career over there. Also, the next thing is the Indian Engineering Services. This is like the most prestigious jobs in terms of engineering. These exams are held by the UPSC board, which also conducts exams for the civil services. Those are IAS, IPS posts. So this IAS, Indian Engineering Services, is quite similar to the uh, the uh, the post which you enter into the Indian Engineering Services is quite similar to the post which you get after getting into Indian Administrative Services. So the power is not uh, that much as IAS, but still you are getting quite a decent power over there, and you get quite a big workforce working under you. So the next thing is like how to get into the government sector. So the basic requirement for the most basic exam which you will have to give is the GATE exam. The GATE exam stands for Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. This exam you'll have to give. You can give right after your while you are in your third year, or in your fourth year. And after that, there is no limit. There's no limit to the number of attempts which you can sit. However, the companies which recruit through this exam, they have their own age qualification. They have their own age limit, so you'll have to look for that as well. So first is this GATE exam. Apart from this GATE exam, there are a few other exams like previously I told SSC JEE, RRB JEE. These exams are also present to get into this government sector. Also for ISRO, there is a separate ICRB exam. ICRB exam stands for ISRO Centralized Recruitment Board. They conduct these exams in various streams such as mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer science, and all these. And you can get into ISRO as a scientist. Also, the BRC also conducts the exam for the same degrees, like engineering degrees, which I previously said, like mechanical and all the basic engineering degrees can get into BRC as well. Also, for the Indian Engineering Services, there is the ESE exam, which stands for Engineering Services Exams, which is held by UPSC. You can sit for that. This ESE exam is multi-tiered. It is like first you'll have to sit for prelims, then after prelims, you will be having a mains exam. The prelims will be totally MCQs, whereas the mains exam will be a descriptive kind of exam where you have to write, or you'll have 2 to 3 papers, and then after that you'll have to sit for interviews. Then you'll be, if you are selected, then you can join the services. So the basic process of all these exams is first you'll have to give the exams, get the qualification marks. After getting the qualification marks in suppose ICRB exams or GATE exams, then you'll be called for an interview. So suppose if you are getting a good score in GATE exam, then you can get into then you can be called for interview by the PSU companies, and then after completing the interviews and all the formalities have backing all the interviews, you can get into companies. However, for SSC JEE and RRB JEE, there is no interviews. You just have to give 2 exams. That is the first prelims exam for SSC JEE and RRB JEE, and then you will have to get the second mains exam. So, you don't have to sit for interviews for posts which are related to SSC JEE and RRB JEE. So now, if you speak about the GATE exam, it has a lot of benefits apart from getting into PSUs. You can get into MTech, that is your post-graduation, as well as you can do PhD. But all these PhDs and MTech, if you get a good score, you
Yeah, Chris is having some connection issues because he's in Hyderabad at the moment. Yeah, Chris, please.
yeah. So after this exam, you can, apart from the PSU jobs, you can also get into MTechs and PhD. MTech is just your post graduations. Hello.
Chris, you can put your video on.
Hello.
Your video is still, no, we can hear you. Your video is still not on.
Actually, I'm having connection issues until right now.
Okay, fine. Then you keep talking if that is an.
Fine, uncle. So fine, uncle.
Yeah.
So after your exams, you can you can get into MTechs, that is your post graduation, as well as you can do your PhD from reputed organizations, institutions like IITs, NITs, and all those kind of institutions. You can also get into good government or institution within your state as well. So the main benefit of doing your MTech after GATE is that you will get a stipend from.
You're still on mute, Chris.
Yeah, I've just unmuted myself, uncle.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me, uncle?
Yes, yes.
So, like after your GATE exam, you can sit for MTech into getting into MTech into government institutions such as IITs, NITs, and all those kind of things. The main Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, now it's better, na, uncle?
Better.
Yeah. So after getting like main benefit for doing MTech from after GATE exam is that you will once you are qualified GATE exam, you will be eligible to get the stipend from Ministry of Human Resource Department, which is a stipend of 12,400 for doing your MTech. This after your graduation, you do not need to depend on your parents to complete your post graduation. If you are doing after your GATE exam, you will directly have to join, and then the government itself will be paying you stipend, and from that stipend you can pay the fees for your MTech and all those things. And then also there are some posts such as JRF and JRFs. These JRFs stand for Junior Research Fellow. It is a temporary thing. You can get into DRDO or IITs. There you are totally focused on to research, and you can help the scientists as well as the professors in IITs in their research. But it is a purely temporary job, but it is good for your experience purpose. So now I would like to say something about the CGPA points which you will be scoring during your graduation. Many people say that it's not very important to get a good CGPA during your engineering or your graduation, but I would suggest that you please take into account, give importance to your CGPA, because once you are getting a good CGPA of around 8 and above, so then you have basically opened quite a few of opportunities for yourself. Otherwise, if you are not getting a good CGPA, then you are just closing those opportunities for your own self. So if you get a good CGPA, then you are eligible. If you get like equivalent to 60% of your graduation marks after your completing your graduation, then you will be eligible to sit for these government exams such as SSC, JEE, or DRC, DRDO, ISRO, and PSUs. Also, apart from getting to government organization, even during your campus placement as well, these CGPA, the companies which come into your college for campus placement, they also keep some criteria of CGPA limit. So if you are getting a good CGPA, then you are 100% sure that you can sit for any company which comes. Then this increases your chances of getting a campus placement as well. as well as if you want to if you want to go into a good foreign institution or those, so even for that also you need a good CGPA, maintain a good CGPA, so that it leaves a good impression in front of those universities, and they call you for interviews and for the process. Then whenever you are studying for your engineering, don't just study for whatever is like whatever just for the exam sake, just a day before you study and then you just throw up during your exams, and then you forget after that. Just don't do it, because it's very important that whatever you are learning, you understand it deeply and you remember all the things, because all these technicalities and whatever you are studying, basics and everything, they will 100% ask during your interviews, and and if you are paying close attention to all the studies and the subjects which they are teaching during your graduation, then it will be helpful for your GATE preparation as well as for other exam, PSU examination. So please give a lot of importance to that basic concepts and understanding. Also, apart from the college studies, try to gain knowledge from outside sources such as YouTube, or read some books, or watch some good documentaries on science and engineering, so that you keep yourself updated with regards to whatever is currently going on outside. Because in interviews, they don't only ask whatever you have studied, they also ask what are the applications which you have studied. So once you once you read all these things, all the documentaries, or read some books, good books, then you can know how to apply your knowledge, and then you can relate to whatever things are there in real life. This will give you a lot of edge during your interviews, and then you can crack those interviews much more easily as compared to those who have just mugged up and come for interviews. So the last thing which I would want to speak today is about the temporary jobs such as contract as well as apprenticeship. Please, if we are getting an opportunity to work into a good government organization or good places, good private companies as well, please do not think that it is a temporary job or anything like that. Please, if you are not currently working or are unemployed, but still you are getting a good contract-based job, then please go forward for it. These also include the apprenticeship which you can get, because this help you to bridge the gap years which are present. The gap years in between, whenever you sit for interviews or anything, they always see for the gap years which is there between your graduation and the time which you are sitting for the interview. So you will have to justify the gap. But if you are getting into a good contract with a good organization or something like that, then you can just bridge that gap and then you can show whatever you not have a gap to show. It will leave a good impression in front of that interviewers and everything, and all those people. Also, there is like a gap between whatever is taught during your engineering and whatever is needed by the industry. So when you are doing your graduation, when you are doing your contract jobs or anything apprenticeship like this, you will be exposed to a lot of technologies and the ways which the industry works. This gives you an understanding of the industry, and then you can it will be very helpful for you. So then I would like to conclude that I would like to end this session, and if you have any questions regarding this, you can please ask.
Any parents have queries for their wards? Chris is a fresh graduate, and he also lives at Andheri 4 Bungalows, and currently he's at Hyderabad. He's worked so hard that he's got into DRDO. You are there as a research scientist, isn't it, Chris?
Yes, Uncle.
And he's done his electronics engineering.
No, mechanical engineering.
mechanical engineering, and he is working on robotics now.
No, satellites.
Satellite.
Satellite.
He's working on our satellites. If you have any questions for your children, you can ask him now. Diana says thank you, Chris. Diana, you can ask a question also.
Right.
Thank you. I
You're
will.
most welcome. You're most welcome.
Thank you, Brother Roy. We were actually listening when connected. So if we know of other children who would need help or your advice or support, we could ask them to connect on this platform. That's the reason why we connected.
Yeah. So this is open to all, irrespective of caste or creed, and
Thank you.
rich or poor.
Yes.
And you can be in any part of the world.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, blessings to y'all. Yeah, that's the reason we also have a platform for another way, a similar, just to help youngsters, and if they need any advice or any kind of help, they could connect. That's why we thought this is a very interesting platform and very helpful platform actually for youngsters, because I know they really struggle, some of them, right?
Yes.
And they don't know where to go for advice,
Correct.
especially at this point in their life. So this will be a great blessing to many children, I know.
Yeah. And everything here is free. Huh?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
We don't charge, we don't pay. Advice is free.
Yes.
Sharon, you have anything? Chris, there's a question from Leander to you. To get into NASA also, is it the same procedures?
For getting into NASA, you will have to be an American citizen for that. You'll have to have an American citizenship, and I don't have that much of idea for getting into NASA. But if you want to get into ISRO, then you'll have to sit for ICRB exams. NASA, I'm not very sure. I don't have that much of idea for that.
So that answers your question, Lian. But you can ask, Lian, you can ask your son to get into ISRO. ISRO is a very good place. It's competing with the world.
Because for NASA, you will have to be an American citizen. You can't be like an Indian citizen and then join NASA. It's very difficult.
Okay. I thought it was Lian was there. Okay, his son is typing. Okay, young man. But DRDO is also a very good place. Huh? It's one of the recognized organizations today globally. And what's your name, Leander's son? What's your name? He's typing. Kyle. Okay, Kyle, what you can do is, you have any time if you plan to get into this line of engineering, scientific side, just connect with me and I'll put you on to Chris.
Yeah, sure.
That can be done. Always. Yeah. Kyle, don't worry, whether it's any government organization, because see, you can see Chris is just about 23, 24, I think.
25.
25?
Yes.
Imagine, at such a young age, he has managed to reach such a high position. Good. Excellent. Anyone else? Jennifer, Sharon? Or else we'll wrap up this session. think there are no more questions here. Only Kyle is the one.
Fine.
Snehalata, thank you for coming. So
Thank you.
we'll call off the session then. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris.
Yeah, sure, sure. No problem, Uncle. Thanks a lot for letting me connect with all these people. And
Yes,
if they
yes.
have any doubt, you can just WhatsApp me.
Sure.
I'll be very happy.
Sure.
Fine, Uncle.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Fine, Uncle. So we'll wrap up? Yeah,
Yes, we'll wrap
okay,
it up.
sure, Uncle.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Yeah.
So I'll end the session then.